It feels really cool to be really rich, yeah? Okay, wait a minute. Now imagine being rich to the extent that you have a say in the affairs of the United States. Or better yet, the world's economy. Crazy, right? It definitely is. And shockingly, people like this already exist, which is why today we would be taking a peek into the families that secretly rule the world. Welcome back to Billionaire Status. If you enjoyed today's video, please drop a like and consider subscribing for more content just like this. Now, let's get right into the video. Rothschild family. A lot of conspiracy theories have gone around that the Rothschild control all of the world's banks and that in an attempt to make money, they started a world war in which they sold armor and guns to allies. But we can't prove that. What we can prove is that they are the wealthiest family in the entire universe, whose net worth is worth a whopping $400 billion. The story of the Rothschilds is not complete without mentioning the great Mayer Amschel Rothschild, who in the 18th century started the creation of this Rothschild empire, as he had a strong passion for finance and also the expertise to do so. With this, he took his finance business to great heights. Rothschild first started a small business that dealt mainly with foreign exchange and trading. But along the line, it grew bigger, under the control of both Mayer Rothschild and his sons Carl, James, Nathan, and Solomon Mayer, whom he spread across the financial capitals of Europe. They then became well known in the banking industry by establishing several branches in countries like Naples, Vienna, London, Paris, and even in their hometown, Frankfurt. The business expanded and delved into other activities like pensions and investments, asset management, merchant banking, and many more. Not only were they expanding their banking business, but they also invested seriously into various infrastructure projects like the construction of railways and tunnels, and their most notable project is the Suez Canal they built in Egypt. The Rothschilds' banking behemoth grew so massively, they began lending money to countries and helped finance their military operations during the Neapolitan Wars, almost funding an entire operation. They were so powerful and wealthy that they were lending billions of dollars to various governments. At this point, we're pretty sure that your mind just can't comprehend how wealthy this family is. Neither can we. One thing was made clear before Mayer Rothschild died, and it was that his fortune must not leave the family for generations to come. Hence, he structured a system of succession that prevented all female descendants from directly inheriting the family titles and properties, and only gave the male descendants access to inherit his fortune. Sources say that the Rothschilds are no longer out of the public, except for a few of their members. But they are rumored to own a high percentage of stakes in almost every international bank you can think of. A special gift attributed to the Rothschilds is their charitable acts. They are known to constantly donate a large number of art pieces worth millions of dollars. Windsor family. If you're looking for another family that can be said to rule the world, it's none other than the Windsor family. And they quite literally are, as they're among the monarchs known to rule one of the strongest countries in the world, the United Kingdom. This British family is extremely influential, with families spread all over Europe or maybe even across the planet. If this doesn't make you wish to find a Windsor to marry, wait till you hear the amount of wealth that only this family amasses. The Windsors are not only existing with an estimated GDP of $2.7 trillion, but they're also recognized as far as reaching Northern Ireland, Scotland, and even beyond Wales and England, practically across the entire globe. An example can be made of the South Pacific island of Tuna, where the Duke of Edinburgh is literally being worshipped, and in Canada, where the perfect picture of Queen Elizabeth is on their $20 note. The wealth also spreads to their younglings, even as the children of Prince William and Kate Middleton, Prince George, Prince Louis, and Princess Charlotte are worth so much other than being able to live their best and most luxurious lives. Prince George is worth a total of $3 billion, Prince Louis a sum of $125 million, and Princess Charlotte an estimated worth of $5 billion. That's a lot for children who are not even yet 10 years old. But that's not all. This royal family is known to amass so much wealth, inheritance, and crown estates combined that they don't need to cut their costs when living their lives. They own several mansions, castles, and land that's all extremely expensive. And the best thing, they don't even buy most of these luxuries. The Kensington Palace is one of their luxurious buildings and worth $630 million. Another is Buckingham Palace, known to cost a total of $4.9 billion. therefore making it one of the most expensive buildings in the entire world. In addition to all these opulent palaces and luxuries, the royal family also owns a large collection of art pieces which consists of over 7,000 paintings, 40,000 watercolors, and also about 150,000 master prints. The most exquisite piece of all of them is the Crown Jewels collection, with an estimated worth of a total of $4 billion. The Cook family. The Cook family has a combined net worth of $100 billion, and their legacy is known as one of the most powerful ones in history. Their story starts in 1925 when Fred Cook decided to join Keith Winkler Engineering in creating a joint company. Fred's sons then took over control of the company, which was named the Wood River Oil and Refining, before they changed it to Cook Industries in honor of their father. Well, we are thankful for that because that former name was a mouthful, don't you agree? Since then, the Cook industry has grown massively under the helm of the Cook brothers, Fred Jr., Charles, Bill, and the late David Cook, as they've all taken the company to the point where it is now the second largest privately owned company in the U.S. and the sixth largest in the world. Amassing a yearly revenue of $115 billion, the Cooks have acquired several companies, one of them being the largest paper manufacturing company, Georgia Pacific. This company was purchased for a sum of $22.5 billion, and that's not all. They also acquired the Molex Company, which is an industry known to produce electronic parts, for $7.5 billion. Right now, we cannot emphasize the number of times we've mentioned the billions today. These families are truly in charge of a lot of wealth, we must say. Where politics is in play, the Cook family is not left out, as they are known to play a huge role in politics. We would know that this family invests a large amount of their wealth to ensure that, as regards to politics, everything is directed the way they want. It turns out that you don't have to be royalty or even a politician for you to have a say in how you run the country's affairs. Simply amazing. The Walton family. Up next is an extremely powerful company. They amass a jaw-dropping worth of $169.7 billion. The Walton family is so rich, they own a company worth more than some countries' GDPs. We wonder why this family isn't spoken about, but everyone knows their company, Walmart. However, what they don't know about Walmart is that they have a total of 10,000 shops across 24 countries in the world and have about 2.2 million people hired as employees. A little backstory: Walmart was established in 1962 by Sam Walton and grew to become the world's biggest company by revenue, as they earned over $548 billion. Walmart is so strong, its mere existence is capable of crushing any competition in its way. But even with the huge amount of money Walmart makes on the Waltons, that isn't their only source of income. They own a club, as Sam's Club, which they built back in 1983. This establishment was spread into 600 branches in the U.S. and Puerto Rico and is known to sell wholesale goods at a flash price for customers who paid for the membership rate. They also own a charity foundation that assists in refurbishing and renovating charter schools in the United States, having been known to provide close to 22,000 grants to several educational-focused sectors. The Morgan family. And last but not least on our list is one of America's most powerful names, the Morgan family. This family is known to own the J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, which is the biggest financial establishment in the U.S. and fifth largest in the world, with assets at a total of $3.7 trillion. Sources claim that this bank is so big in assets that if it were a country, it would be the 15th wealthiest in the world. Would you look at that crazy amount of wealth? The wealth of the Morgans is all thanks to the great work of John Pierpont Morgan, who is popularly referred to as J.P. Morgan. He started the industry in the 19th century, after he had already worked at his father's company, but then moved to the U.S. to start something of his own. In 1871, Anthony Drexel joined hands with J.P. and together they created the Drexel Morgan & Co., which was later changed to J.P. Morgan & Co. after Drexel died. This company grew from revitalizing crippling businesses to becoming the main financial source for the government of the United States. He shifted courses to dealing in steel when he bought the Carnegie Steel Company for $480 billion, alongside a couple of other steel companies he acquired, all totaling a sum of $1.4 billion. Further, over the years, he delved into the construction of railways, which put him in control of over 60% of American railway projects. J.P. Morgan's powerful influence flowed through the U.S. as he was known to assist the country through really hard times, just like the 1893 Depression period when he helped supply the American Treasury with $63 million worth of gold, thereby bringing the U.S. economy back to life. Thanks for watching.